Here we go, episode number 5, the Drop-In Podcast. Absolutely delighted to be sitting across from Kade Edwards. How's it going, man?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, sounds. Cheers for coming along.
Thank you.
Pretty random setup we have where we've suddenly moved in on your turf.
Yeah, moved to Wales.
Myself, Danny and Rory have all came down to Robbie Meads, who we've been working with some video projects with, and we came down for like 3 weeks, like 5 weeks ago. So now we're here. She's like, you're pretty close, aren't you?
Yeah, we're only 5 minutes down the road. Yeah.
It's been good to ride you there. We never actually met each other before, which was pretty nuts.
Not until now.
Obviously, follow you on social media and stuff. So it's been good to ride. But yeah, I guess the obvious place to kick things off is you're wearing a nice new hat, aren't you?
Yeah.
How does it feel to be repping the old Red Bull hat?
Yeah, pretty surreal, mate. Yeah. I did not know it was coming. Pretty speechless. I'm still am. It's still settling, I think.
Yeah. It's a pretty, for any action sport athletes, it's like a pretty insane.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Yeah.
It's quite a sort of coming of age.
Yeah.
So like, how does I guess like the little kids or anyone listening would just kind of want to know, like, how does it come about? Is it, because it's almost like in the social media clips, were you genuinely as like shocked as?
Honestly, I had no idea. Tani basically sorted out my contract and stuff with Matt from Red Bull, and I'd literally not a clue. Apparently been trying to drop hints here and there, and I literally had no idea.
Yeah. That's
why I was so shocked. I still am.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool to see the Instagram clips like with you just given your helmet.
Yeah.
So that's probably a good thing to, because you obviously, your partner Tani Seagrave, who's a Red Bull athlete and has been for a few years. So I guess you're in a pretty unique situation where she obviously knew that you were obviously willing to be on Red Bull.
Yeah.
And wanted to be on, so she was able to kind of take care of it and it actually be.
Yeah, she actually sorted most of it out, really.
So it was literally a surprise.
Yeah, so full surprise. I couldn't believe it.
Did you literally not expect? Had there been any kind of chat of it, or is it kind of coming and going a little bit?
Literally, they were going to support me just like with a couple of little things and just be on like a black helmet, but yeah, they surprised me.
Yeah,
insane.
That's cool. So you had to have some sort of support previously from Red Bull?
Yeah, they've helped us out quite a lot with like healthcare stuff, like just physio, taking us to events. Yeah. They look after us, so it's really good.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the things that people don't immediately realise with Red Bull. It's like, obviously the helmet's a massive, like, something to be super proud of, but is this sort of healthcare support, is that something that like really important to you?
Insane,
in terms of like, because obviously money's one thing, but to get all that support must be a massive.
Yeah, that is the main thing for me, really. Like they've helped me out for 2 years previously now with my ankle, my wrist, just like, it's so much easier. It just makes it that much easier to get back on the bike. And
yeah, I guess it's not just money then and then paying for the healthcare, it's like having that sort of,
just having it there,
that all mapped out for you and stuff. So have you had some injuries recently that Red Bull have helped you with?
Yeah, I broke my wrist last year, and they sorted that out, all the physio. Managed to get operation on the NHS.
Cool.
But they sorted that out as well, like it was going to be private, but then it was on the NHS. So yeah, they literally just, they help out so much.
Yeah, cool. I guess it kind of takes the pressure off a little bit.
Yeah.
Where you're not necessarily, obviously you don't want to get hurt because it's
not fun.
Shit and sore. But like you don't necessarily have that stress of like paying for it or even just sorting out and stuff. So
yeah,
hopefully it's like ride awesome. A bit more freedom.
Yeah,
that's cool. So that's obviously now like where did it all start for you in terms of riding? Then was it a case of?
I've ridden bikes literally
since
every day. Tiny. Yeah, since I could. Yeah. My dad used to race, so he's kind of got me into it. And we did motorbikes for a bit when I was young because he was into that. Did a bit of trials. And then I just started racing basically when I could. Yeah. At the age, maybe started mountain biking 3 years before I could, so like 8. Okay. I started racing when I was 11 or something like that.
Cool. So did you grow up? You're saying the other day you grew up in Huddersfield.
Yeah. In Huddersfield, yeah.
So that's a pretty good spot for just general motorbike. There's quite a lot of sort of history in terms of motorbike trials and stuff there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Is
motorbike trials something you said you did too?
Yeah. I did that for a good few years. Yeah, when I was a young kid, when I was like 6 till 8 probably. Yeah. Still though, I think that gave me a lot of skill for mountain biking. Good balance and stuff.
Yeah, it's funny, like I suppose like Reese as well has obviously come from motorbikes.
Yeah, you can see how well it is, just like
it's definitely that sort of like thing we were saying before, it's like just like comfortable being fast.
Yeah.
Two wheels. Obviously the technical stuff can kind of come after, but
yeah, for sure.
When you were growing up, was it a case of like when you got into bikes, have you always, because you're kind of known to be like a bit of a shredder on all sorts of bikes.
Yeah.
Was it always, is it when you got into riding, was it always a case of like starting on BMX and then moving into mountain bike, or has it just always been a big mishmash of two wheels?
I definitely did start on BMX. I didn't pick up like a mountain bike until I was like 7 or 8. Okay, I'd always been on BMX before that.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a BMX racer at one point.
A BMX racer?
Yeah, I used to do that all the time. I never actually raced much, but when I was a kid, I was riding those bikes. And then my dad said, we should try riding mountain bikes.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So good.
That's cool. So what sort of age was the mountain bike, did you say?
I got like my first little hardtail thing when I was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And then I just slowly moved up, got a Kona Stinky 24, a tiny little downhill bike. It was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it went from there.
That's cool. So you're still relatively young, I suppose. I was asking this the other night and you didn't actually remember how old you were. No. I was like, Kate, how old are you? We were having this conversation and you're like, I don't know, I think I'm 19. You're like, no,
I'm 20.
Have you figured out since?
Yeah, I'm 20. Yeah. Coming up to 21 after the new year. So
yeah. It's pretty crazy to hear that you're only 20 because like someone who's just like a fan of riding and stuff, obviously we only just met each other like a few weeks ago. It seems like you've been on the scene for quite some time now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Even though you're it's bloody depressing, to be honest. So you're like riding mountain bikes in Huddersfield, I guess. How did you go so quickly from basically that to then like literally like 7 years later you're racing World Cups in like a professional team?
Yeah, I don't know. We had some good spots to ride in Huddersfield, to be fair. Well, not in Huddersfield.
Was there a race series there?
No. Nothing really to race, just like good riding crew, but we used to go to Warney quite a lot. Right, in Sheffield. There's loads of trails there. That's basically where I did most of my downhill, and then the rest would be uplift days. Yeah, going to like Hamsterley or Llangollen or
cool.
And then once I got into the World Cup circuit, I started going abroad. Yeah, and you just get a lot more into the riding.
So your first World Cup season would have been, what was that, like 2017? Yeah. And is that are you straight onto a factory team at that point?
Yeah, I was at the Athertons then.
So how did you go from not racing to kind of being on the World Cups? And was it how did that kind of come about?
So I was with them before as well. When I was doing nationals, they supported me for another like 2 or 3 years before. When I was a kid on the nationals. Sweet. Yeah. So I rode for them through youth and then junior, I think.
Okay.
Maybe the second year of juvenile as well. So for a long time.
Oh, right. I didn't realise it had been so long. Because I was like looking up a little bit like what you did, and I kind of like I was suddenly like trying to figure out like how that sort of big step up kind of.
Yeah. So basically, I was with them for a long time, really.
Okay, cool.
Until like last year before.
Sweet. So did one of those guys like spot you at a race, or how did that actually happen?
I went to Atherton Experience Day.
Oh, really?
And then got speaking to him, and then they saw me at the first round of the BDS when I was in juvenile, so like my first ever national races. And then they picked me up for the next year.
Okay, that's cool.
It was sick, yeah.
That's sweet. How does it kind of feel to like get that sort of backing? Does it sort of feel like sort of validating? Yeah. And then just kind of riding with those guys and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's good.
That's cool. So you were basically like you were essentially the junior rider on that Atherton team for 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Cool. How did that kind of, was it not pretty, I sometimes think like, as like a guy, you must have been like, what, 16, 17?
Yeah.
Suddenly 17, like going from like, I don't know, being in school, I guess you must have left school early.
Yeah.
To then suddenly like traveling the world racing bikes. It must have been a pretty...
Yeah, crazy. Because I'd never really been abroad riding my bike until like my first World Cup.
Oh, really?
So like it was such... And then it all just went from 0 to 100.
Yeah, literally, pretty overwhelming almost.
Yeah, to like 6 or 7 World Cups in a year.
Yeah.
Getting to places just back and forth. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, because it's not just Europe as well. It's like you literally went to like
into the States and Australia. Yeah, I went to Cairns as well for Yeah,
that's
insane.
Cool. Is it quite overwhelming then in terms of just like...
Yeah, I remember being so excited when I went to my first World Cup, like getting on a plane again. Because I used to go on holiday a lot when I was a kid, like to Greece and stuff, but then we stopped because of the biking and stuff.
Yeah, just everything goes into
And then like getting back on a plane, I was like, oh, this is sick. I was buzzing.
Like
Everyone else is over it because they do it all the time. I'm stoked.
That's class. Yeah, I guess that's the thing with kind of being the experience of downhill isn't just the racing, is it? It's just like everything that goes with it and just being like
so
comfortable with traveling. But so is that just like absolute like pinch yourself moments in terms of just like cutting around?
Yeah, this is sick. You're just like in a different country cruising around sunset. You're just like, what are we doing? This is insane. Yeah.
That's class. So how did your first season kind of go in terms of results and stuff?
Junior.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, I think. Yeah. I don't think I got a podium. I was doing like loads of fourths and fifths and stuff. So yeah, it was good.
That's good.
Really good, solid first year.
Yeah.
And then second year, I think I was like second, third.
Yeah.
Never won until World Champs at the end of the year.
Which must have been pretty insane. Like because I was kind of thinking about that last night. Obviously, knew you were coming on. I was like, remembering like when you won World Champs, and I remember thinking it wasn't like expected that you were going to win, but it was like in my memory I thought it was kind of like you were kind of favourite to win. But then I saw last night that you hadn't won any World Cups. So it's like pretty mental to go. I guess like some people have done that in the men's, like Danny Hart, for example. He won World Champs, didn't he, before
winning a World
Cup? And I think Bruni did that as well. Mm-hmm. But it must have been pretty nuts to just go for like...
Yeah, crazy,
and I suppose Reece Wilson's done it as well recently.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Is there like something quite different about World Champs that you think that you won there, or do you think it's just a coincidence?
I think it's a coincidence, I don't know. It all just fell into place.
Yeah.
I just felt super good all week.
Yeah. Were you like quietly really wanting it kind of thing, or was it something that you just kind of take it as it comes? You do strike me as a pretty chilled kind of guy.
It all just fell into place. There's no like real feeling. Mm-hmm. Well, there was, I guess, because I felt good, but I wasn't like, I'm going to win. You know, I'm fucking riding fast. I was just like feeling good. Yeah, and it all just went really well. Did
you qualify first for that? Like, were you the last man down the hill? Last junior down the hill? So.
I think I was. Yeah. I think
That's
so.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's always a cool way to win it. Then I guess it's like
I can't. No, I don't think I was actually. Maybe Tiba, because I remember watching him come down on the live stream. Well, not the live stream, but on the TV.
Was Tiba Deprella?
Yeah, but I don't know if they always go off rankings in
okay, cool.
the World Champs. Yeah,
cool.
But yeah, only thing I remember from a race run is getting to like 3/4 of the way down and thinking, shit, I'm already here.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, I'm already done pretty much, and then that was it. I can't remember much of the run.
Yeah, I think that's quite interesting you say that, because we had Matt Walker on a couple of weeks ago, and he kind of said that the races that he does the best, he can't really remember what's going on. So
it's just because you're in fucking pilot mode and you're just going, you know.
Do you feel like you kind of can hit that sort of flow state, or is it just like, or sometimes you can, sometimes
I can, sometimes I can't. I'm definitely working on it. I think.
Yeah,
I'm getting a bit older.
Yeah,
a bit more experience, I'd say.
Yeah, because it's kind of interesting, because you do definitely strike me as like a pretty chilled guy, but then that can obviously help with racing in terms of keeping relaxed, but then
at the same time you need a bit of like
it's getting that balance,
structure and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Because as soon as you start like, there's definitely a kind of wanting it too hard, almost can be a bit of a thing. But
for sure,
that's cool. So it must have like, how did it feel to kind of take the rainbow jersey? It must have been pretty insane.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's only a kiddie one at the end of the day.
Yeah,
but still, it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I'd like the real deal at some point. That'd be cool.
I sometimes think with the juniors, that must almost be like, obviously you guys are you're young as well, but just knowing that, like if you're saying in the elite sort of World Champs, you always know, obviously you got to qualify and stuff, there's always going to be other opportunities to do it, whereas when you're in your final year at juniors, you're going up regardless, so it's like, it's kind of then or never, so it must almost be like a kind of unique.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it's good to just prove myself before I went to elites, you know. It's always been like just a little bit off the back. Yeah, it was nice to put a solid run down. Yeah, definitely joining some pretty elite company as well, and being junior world champs. Yeah, when you think of some of the guys that have won the juniors in the past. So yeah, for sure. No pressure. That's cool. Like, it must have been insane though. It's just like so cool watching that stuff out. Just like even just when I was doing the research the other day, just like watching the videos back and stuff, it must be such a buzz. Yeah. So that's obviously you win juniors and then you go into the big boys. Into elite. How does that... That's one thing I think Matt was saying as well. Like, when you're in juniors, are you constantly comparing your times? Because you're obviously going down the track. Yeah. So even though you're not racing against them, you still have an idea of like... For sure, where you are at. Yeah. So you just... And you juniors, especially finally, you're just always like looking... You're always like looking, where am I pricing in the big boys? Yeah. Yeah. And like, where would you kind of be sitting at that point? Oh, sometimes off the back. Yeah. Just because the juniors literally weren't strong enough, you know. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes would be quite up there. Yeah, just kind of depending on the track and stuff. It changed quite a lot, actually. That's cool. Sometimes I'd be like, fuck, I'm doing pretty well. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, that could be better. Yeah. That's cool. It's kind of cool that you guys can... I think it's really cool that there is a junior category now. Yeah. But it's also cool that it's on the same track. So you can still get that experience. Mm-hmm. You still maybe get backed by teams as well, because it's good to have a junior. For sure, yeah.
But you can still know, he's having a rough idea of like where you're at.
Where you're going to be at, yeah. Yeah, it used to be savage for everyone else when they didn't have a junior category.
Yeah, just literally racing
against the men's, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember because like Brendan and Troy used to get podiums, but I didn't realise that was in with the elites until like not too long ago. I was like,
it's insane.
That's insane.
Nah, it's definitely cool that they did do that, because it does seem like a hard sport to break through in. So like to have a junior category and give them times on the podiums and coverage and stuff, it definitely will help. Like, let's say like Athens, for example, like would maybe not necessarily been so keen to have a junior on their team if they were just going to get kind of swallowed up
with the rest
into the men's results, like even though they're obviously young and stuff like that. But that's cool. Did you, so like after 2018, you then move on to, you're actually the Atherton and Trek team kind of disbands.
Yeah, and I stayed with Trek, yeah.
But you stayed with Trek, so were you the only rider that stayed with Trek then, I guess?
Yeah, and then
everyone joins around
Charlie and Reese came, yeah. Yeah,
that's cool.
sick.
Yeah. It was definitely like a cool setup, like from the outside looking in, it definitely seemed like that you guys seemed to like, as like I said to Reese, you guys seemed to like hit it off.
Yeah, man.
Straight off the bat.
Yeah, it was sick. It was so weird actually, yeah. Just like it was sick how Trek put so much like belief in a young team.
Yeah.
Like the average age is like 22.
Yeah.
So
I think Reese was saying he's the oldest rider, which is mental, because I look at Reese and I think he's like one of the young guys.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. It's mad.
Yeah.
It's a cool setup, yeah.
It's pretty cool that like Trek's obviously either the biggest or one of the biggest and most established bike brands out there.
For sure.
So you'd almost expect them to be quite cautious with stuff and maybe have like an experienced team, but it's pretty cool to see that they've just gone like all out and they've gone for youth. So
yeah, it's cool.
Was it quite a difference then moving from like the all Atherton setup to suddenly like being around like people maybe you kind of maybe bond with a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. I really like it. Yeah,
that's cool. I definitely, like Reese was saying, he was saying that he kind of he loves like riding with Charlie, but he also loves riding with you because you've got like two like such different approaches where you're just kind of like
Charlie's
still taking it seriously, but it sounds like he's like super focused.
Yeah, dude, he's so
Reese kind of tries to just like
skitter between the two. Yeah. No, riding with Charlie's good. He's got his head screwed on. He knows what he wants. He knows what he's going to do. I wish I could be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I guess
everyone's operates differently, don't they? Yeah.
That's cool. That was one of the things I was watching that going in film that Robbie obviously made, and one of the things that I was wanting to talk to you about was the swing incident. Where did you not like break your leg or something on a swing or something?
Oh shit! Yeah. yeah.
So you on like team cam? You've like obviously you've been on Trek before, but you like re-signed.
Yeah, signed with a different team. So we went for a big team camp. We spent a whole week of testing, doing loads of gnarly stuff, like riding this jump line every night. It was sick.
Yeah. You flip like a massive double.
Yeah, flip like it's one of my biggest flips there. Fine. Literally went to the airport and we went for dinner in Alicante, and they had like these big swings in the streets. So the boys are pushing me on that, and then like they walked off. So I was just trying to slow it down my foot. Yeah. And like it come down once and my foot just got caught and snapped sideways. Oh, shit. And then I just broke, my ankles broke.
Shit.
And no one believed me. I had to walk back to the hotel. No, we got a lift back. I walked down to the car and everyone was like, I've stopped being a pussy. And then I like flew home, got an x-ray.
Oh, you still not been?
Yeah, flew home and then just like got an x-ray and it was broken, yeah.
Oh shit. What sort of stage of the season? Oh, obviously it's the start of the season.
This was, start of the season. Probably like January time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I guess it's obviously not ideal, but at least it's like early enough for you to...
Yeah, I had time to get back on it, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. How did the sponsors and stuff take that? Were they pretty chill about it? I guess it's like, it's so freak that as an accident, they can't really get annoyed about it.
That's the thing, is like, it was such a freak accident. It was just like, it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah. You just couldn't believe it. It's just literally one of them where it's just like, how? Do all this nuts stuff and then break my ankle on a swing.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Were you basically able to get back on it and be back in time for the start of the season?
I didn't need, it wasn't that. I did my ligaments, so it was quite bad, but I didn't need an operation, so I managed to get back pretty quick. Cool. Yeah, that's another thing Rebel helped me with as well.
Okay, so was that kind of like your first?
That was good, yeah, for sure, yeah.
That's class. So you doing that with
Darren
Roberts?
Yeah.
Darren Roberts, who's we may get on the podcast at some point.
Yeah, I need to get him on.
A bit of a character.
Yeah.
Because Darren essentially is like Red Bull's guy that Red Bull will like assign the athletes to, and
he sorts them out.
He's not necessarily the person treating them, but he kind of coordinates the whole sort of.
Yeah, sorts
if you need
the
a
whole
scan,
thing
you
out.
get a scan. You get physio. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool. And I guess he's pretty close to you guys as well.
Yeah, he's only up in Manchester, so it's only an hour away. Yeah.
That's cool. So so that was your first dealing with Darren.
Pretty much with my uncle. Yeah,
which is an experience in itself. To be fair.
For sure. Good fun.
That's cool. So how did you find like with the new team and then moving into the first race and stuff? Was it?
It's good. It was so weird how comfortable we all were.
Yeah.
Like from the first team camp, we were literally like we'd been on the team for.
That's cool.
For years. Like first race, it was already normal. Mm-hmm. The only thing, it was just like working out how the pits went, you know?
Yeah.
That was it. Boom. We were all sat in.
Yeah, it's funny that it's such a fine line between like a group of people kind of working.
Yeah.
And it not. And it definitely seemed, obviously you know more than me, and sometimes these things aren't as they seem, but it definitely seemed from like the outside looking in that you guys like hit it off. And it was quite cool to see that. I think it's like cool that they put a team together that has like all the sort of crack.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the same time can still deliver in terms of results.
It's like,
I think like the only sort of, I guess like Syndicate and Common Sal have kind of managed to do that, where they kind of capture like a real good vibe within the team, but they also still manage to deliver on results. So quite a big team though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
it is a big team. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did the results kind of go in for 2019? I guess it's quite. Did you almost find it quite? Do you find it a little bit more relaxing in some ways? Because obviously with juniors, you kind of might have a little bit of pressure to kind of be winning or whatever. Yeah. Do you feel like when you go in elite, especially your first year elite, are you kind of like, depends on whether you're in like a contract year as well, or do you kind of feel you're a little bit more relaxed by that point? Because you're just like,
more relaxed.
You've got to see
for sure. Yeah.
See where you end up.
At the end of the day, you're not, I knew I wasn't going to go in and win one.
Yeah.
Like straight after junior. So you just literally go in and see how you do, innit?
Yeah.
Well, obviously you want to qualify.
Yeah.
And you want to be up there, but you just take it how it is, really.
Yeah. I guess that becomes, for juniors, that almost becomes like the new
challenge.
The new challenge is just qualify, because it's top 60 now, isn't it?
It's up at 60, it's pretty tight. Yeah.
Did you qualify? Were you qualifying straight off the bat, or was it?
Yeah. Weird one, really. Like, first race was Maribor, was it? Yeah. And then, like, I qualified I didn't qualify there, crashed, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Then go to Fort William, crashed in qualifying, but still qualified, and then came 20th.
Because that was your first Fort William elite, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which was, I'm just getting so confused with dates, which was last year.
Yeah.
The whole COVID thing's just like confused everything.
Just messed everything up, hasn't it? Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so I got 20th there, and then like went to Leogang, like, had a mint qualifying run. I was like 62nd off the back, and then like go to the next race. It was Val de Sol or something. I qualified there. And it's just weird. Like sometimes I qualify, sometimes I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I always qualify pretty good, like top 30 or something.
Yeah.
It's weird. Sometimes I have like a good run and I wouldn't qualify. I'd be like 61st or something. And it's like, whoa.
That's mental, isn't it? It's crazy to think that you can crash, qualify, and then have a good run. Yeah. And then not.
Honestly, I don't know if it's because Fort William's just a bit longer, separates people a bit more.
Yeah, okay.
But like Leogang's quite short. Well, this year it looked a bit savage, but last time I rode it, it was more like you can't really separate people on there.
Yeah, okay.
So it's pretty tight.
That's cool. So all in all, pretty solid.
Yeah, first year was pretty good to say that coming off that ankle and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's cool.
I was happy with it.
And then obviously moving into, so that's essentially, other than this sort of mini season, that was like you've only had kind of like 1.5 seasons in, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So you obviously go into the off season last year. What's the sort of off season kind of look like for you? Do you kind of, I guess everyone's different, but do you take the foot off the gas like quite a lot in terms of riding and training, or seems to me from seeing you, it doesn't seem like you stop riding basically.
I don't stop riding now. Yeah. I definitely stopped going to the gym for a couple of weeks, a couple of months maybe. Yeah, but if anything, I just try to ride my BMX. Yeah. Like ride my BMX, ride my jump bike.
That's cool.
Still do a little bit of downhill, but I like to just take a bit of time off doing some flat runs. Yeah. Just go ride the bike park at Revs, just have fun. Cool.
That's kind of a good thing to move on to, is like to give people an idea of like your setup, because basically you've obviously just said you're from Huddersfield, but you live with Tanny and Chaos.
Yeah.
And do they have like I've not been there, but do they have basically like You're basically like in a house with like land and stuff like that, essentially.
Yeah, so basically they got a house and the next door neighbours are letting us rent the field.
Okay.
They own the field next door to the house. So we're renting that for £100 a year or something. It's ridiculous.
Bargain.
So cheap. Yeah, and
Hopefully they're not listening to this.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Rent out, like.
Yeah, but we're actually digging in there at the minute.
Yeah,
We've got James in there digging now.
From Revolution?
From Revolution, yeah.
That's
and
cool.
yeah, it's exciting.
You got some big plans for that then?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Just have like project-based stuff, or more just
fun, I think.
Fun?
Yeah, somewhere just to train and have fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's right outside the house. It's insane, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's definitely something we'd
It's
love to
definitely
have.
a dream
Like,
setup, man. Yeah, for
it's
sure.
every like young rider's dream is to have like
Gyms
we've
at
been
your
like
house.
got this little barn set up, and it's like it's taken so long for us to actually like finally get something like that.
Yeah.
Like, why have we not done this before?
For sure, yeah. It's a must.
So you talk about training. Is training something you take pretty seriously
Yeah, I tried
throughout the season, or
I tried to. Well,
because you got a gym there as well?
we just got a gym set up now.
Okay.
Yeah, we just got a squat rack the other day, so
Ah, nice.
I've actually got a proper gym now.
That's cool.
Yeah, to be fair, through lockdown, didn't do too much training.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing like video project, doing a lot of digging, did like little bits, but I didn't do like a structured plan.
Yeah.
Like probably for this year coming, I'll try to do something a bit more structured.
Did you find it quite difficult with the whole lockdown stuff happening? In some ways, like I know from like our experience, we were quite, in a weird way, kind of enjoyed it. Because like obviously we don't have races, but we have events, and like suddenly all those events are gone. And in some ways, you're like, your immediate reaction's like, oh, God,
sucks,
and you feel like a little bit lost because you're like, that's what you do. But then once you kind of get past that, you're like, oh,
fun,
sweet,
isn't it?
I'm going to spend the whole like summer at home or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you find
exactly
that you?
what I thought.
Did
Yeah.
you find you end up actually enjoying it?
Yeah, because I've not spent a summer at home since 2017 really now.
Yeah. Okay.
So racing downhill, so it was really good just to stay at home and ride in the summer.
Yeah.
Never ridden like the home trails because I've only been down here since I started racing World Cups.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'd never actually spent a summer here. So it was actually amazing.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed it.
Did you find like the sort of training side of things quite difficult? Because there was never like obviously the season did happen in the end the way it did. There was definitely like quite a few months where you didn't really know what was happening. Had you kind of decided it wasn't?
I definitely undertrained because I honestly didn't think they were going to go on.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah,
so,
to be honest, I think I was kind of in the same thoughts. But
so I was kind of just like cruising along, and then
it suddenly happened, and you're like, shit.
And I remember
I
did like literally 3 gym sessions before I went.
Yeah, okay.
Just like within the 2 weeks I had or whatever.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I could still basically.
Yeah, pedal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. How was it? So you weren't riding World Champs this year.
No.
Were you watching that from home, or were you actually?
Yeah, I watched that from home. Yeah. Yeah.
How was it watching race?
Yeah,
like, you must have
insane.
been pretty stoked for your boys.
I couldn't believe it. It was insane.
That's cool.
Just like his run was insane. Like killed those woods.
Yeah.
Like, hands down, like literally killed. I think that's where motocross comes in again.
Yeah, for sure.
Like just
being Scottish.
and it just smashing through the range. Yeah.
Nah, it's class to watch. Like I said to him as well, I was like, I didn't even know Reese, and I was still like shitting myself watching that because I was like, so like for someone like yourself who's obviously good pals with him,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
obviously his family must have been like a hard watch. Is it quite hard watch? Do you find it quite difficult to watch races if you're either injured or maybe like not at World Champs or something?
No, I still like to watch it for sure. Yeah,
But is there
it doesn't. Yeah, like you're not in for a reason at the end of the day, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Cool.
So you're still going to watch the race.
Partly glad you didn't have to ride
Yeah,
that track as well.
I think it would have been quite sick though.
Yeah.
it looked pretty fun.
Is that the sort of thing that you think would suit you as a rider?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just smashing through some
Yeah.
minging bogs.
It's kind of similar to like what we're all used to. I
Yeah,
suppose, here.
exactly. Yeah, for sure.
That's cool.
It's always wet, so.
So you sort of the World Cup season's happening. You just like frantically try to get some conditioning on the go for it, are you?
Yeah.
And then you head out to what's the first race? Slovenia.
Slovenia, yeah.
How did that all kind of? What was it like to not have a crowd? Actually, that's one thing I asked Matt.
Weird.
It must have felt quite bizarre.
Really weird. There's like the odd people who'd sneaked in. They had like a chainsaw.
Yeah.
So you'd have like the whole room was quiet.
Yeah.
And then you just get to like the middle and it was like normal. It was weird.
Like
and then you go past them, it's just quiet again. But yeah, it
that
was
must
weird.
almost be harder. Where it's like at least
exactly.
At least at Fort William, it's consistently loud. Like
It's
straight from the
consistently,
bottom.
yeah, for sure.
Let's go.
Yeah.
But just the whole vibe's like feeling
Yeah, it was kind of not, well, I don't really hear the crowd on a ride too much. You hear the odd thing, you know what I mean, but you're normally pretty focused. But
you don't ride with headphones in?
No, you're not allowed to race with headphones in.
I
don't know why, but
so you're not getting team orders or whatever.
No, but yeah, I don't think I could probably keep going like that for ages though without crowds, because it does fire you up when you see them.
Yeah, okay.
You see it, like you're starting to start getting at fault when you can literally see just bodies the whole way down. You're like, oh shit, like, let's go. Do
you find like the Fort William home race for the crowd? Do you find that helps you, or do you find that
there's definitely a bit more like you've got to send it?
Yeah, okay.
You know,
because I guess camera can be a good thing or a bad thing, I suppose.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. I like riding at Fort William. It's good.
Yeah,
especially racing there.
That's cool.
It's always massive in it. So
yeah, I've seen. To recent stuff, I really hope that Fort William will come off next year, like, because I think just the whole combination of like this whole pent up like frustration of not being able to do stuff, and then if like that race can go ahead, which will be like June, I suppose,
that would be insane.
With full crowd, obviously there's a good chance it's not going to happen, but it'd be so good if it did, and I think it would be like this massive party basically.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'd be insane.
That'd be class.
Yeah.
What were your results like in Slovenia then? Kind of a mixed bag, or did you qualify for both races?
I'm pretty sure I crashed. Yeah. Pretty sure I crashed in both races. No, I didn't. I think I crashed in the first one. In the second one, I was like 30 or 40. Yeah.
It's so hard to like, even like I watched them all and stuff. It's hard to like differentiate the different races.
Yeah, especially with all we had 4 races. It's hard. To, 2 races.
Yeah.
4 race runs in 4 days.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Is it pretty nuts? Like, how was that kind of in terms of mentally and physically?
It was all right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing it again, really, for like one weekend maybe.
Yeah.
But it was quite hard doing it back to back.
I think as a spectator, it was class, because it's like, obviously we're not having to do the
watch
work. Like, it's more racing.
Yeah, for sure.
Better, and it's like, 2 days later, like other finals.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you obviously move on to Portugal then.
Yeah, that was good. And then you
qualify. Does that track you pretty...
Yeah, I loved it.
It was class.
It was insane. One of the best tracks we've had, actually, yeah.
It was funny, we were, not to keep going back to Reese, but one of the days that we were doing the podcast with Reese was when that World Cup was on. He was absolutely gutted. I think he was watching like yours and Chaos's GoPro runs, and he was just like devastated he wasn't there.
Yeah.
But you were saying the other day you had like a pretty good qualifying result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 11th.
Oh, that's class.
Yeah. Really good. I surprised myself.
It was funny when you also said that it was the first time that, was it qualifying? You didn't get points for qualifying.
Yeah, first time qualifying's never got points. Yeah. That's a standard.
It was pretty. You definitely seem to have like found pace though.
Yeah,
because I think you had like a little bit of an off, but then you still seem to be up there.
Yeah,
and you weren't actually like with a crash. Yeah, you then crossed the line, and I'm sure you were only like a few seconds back on Jamie Edmondson, who was hot seat at the time, which was pretty nuts.
Yeah, so, should have stayed on really, shouldn't I? Yeah.
It's still like, I guess that's still, even though you maybe not got the result you wanted, I suppose it gives you kind of like...
Gives you a bit of hope to know you're kind of on the pace, for sure. So.
Have you got any sort of aims for 20?
Yeah, 21? Basically just be up there, really.
Yeah.
I want to be up in that top 20 field.
That's cool.
Or top 10.
Yeah.
This way you want to be there consistently, innit?
Yeah.
I just like a bit of consistency, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Sort that out.
It's bloody hard to get consistency in a sport like downhill, but
for sure.
I think it's like keep saying, coming back to when you see racers, it's like, seems to be that you just need to be kind of up there and then have that sort of clicking moment.
Yeah, for sure.
And then suddenly like your top 15 rider becomes like a podium contender. It's kind of what Reese has done this year.
Reese has definitely turned just literally that last click.
Yeah.
And he's there.
And hopefully can still kind of like build on that next year.
Yeah, for sure. But will do.
That's cool. So you're going to be with Trek next year and stuff?
Yeah.
All sorted.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, well, I guess one thing that loads of people will be interested to hear from you is you're obviously known to be a kind of all the downhillers at least, you can send a selection of tricks.
Yeah,
you ride a lot of BMX.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been asked this so many times, but is there anything in your mind that kind of like, would you ever be keen to make a bit of a switch or a sidetrack to say slopestyle, rampage?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have anything in the immediate horizon, or is it something? Are you kind of wanting to kind of focus on racing
definitely focus on racing for a bit, I think. Yeah.
That's cool.
But I do slowly want to introduce some of that, for sure. Like, I love riding my dirt bike.
Yeah.
Love riding my slate bike. Like, I do that more than I ride downhill, really.
Yeah. I guess it's just easier to ride.
Yeah.
Those
and it's
bikes,
like, if anything, I enjoy it a bit more. Not that I enjoy it a bit more, but like, I don't know, just riding BMX from a kid.
Yeah.
I just appreciate it a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm more into watching slurp stuff than I am downhill. But that's just like, that's what I'm into. That's my hobby.
Yeah.
That's my hobby, really, at the end of the day. And my racing's my job.
Yeah, okay.
You know? And
but I guess it's good that there's crossovers in terms of skills and stuff.
For sure, yeah.
Just need to start sending some tricks in your downhill runs.
Yeah.
Is that something you're ever tempted to do? Like, I remember, like, I know you do. You're like, you're not scared to throw like a whip or whatever.
Yeah. It's mainly having the jumps.
Yeah.
It's
is it just like, they're not really setups for it usually?
All the jumps are just super low and fast.
Yeah, okay, good.
You struggle to get like a...
Just can't go and like dig a little cheeky wee lip.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That'd be cool. Has anyone actually ever flipped a World Cup race?
I don't know if they've done a race.
Yeah.
Chaos did one at Snowshoe last year. Just first run practice, yeah.
I didn't see that.
And there was a big right hit.
Okay.
Flip that. Brendan did it as well.
Yeah, class.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to...
didn't look very appetising to me.
It'd be cool to see a flip in a
race.
A Rebel TV broadcast run. That'd be class, like.
If it's a jump, we'll maybe make it happen. Yeah.
How much time do you reckon you would lose?
I reckon you lose a bit of time.
Yeah. Even if you stomped it like perfect.
Yeah.
Just a little bit
more because like the amount of time you just in a race and just constantly squashing and just making speed is just ridiculous.
I guess like a selection of circumstances need to happen where you're maybe like, well, A, you have a jump that's in the track that you can do on, and B, maybe like you've had a crash or you've made a mistake that puts you far enough back that you're like,
fuck it.
Yeah. But you're like, your bike's not fucked or you're not fucked. Whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. We'll be looking out for it. Like,
yeah. Have to eye it up.
So, now we're obviously back in off season. What's like do you have like a typical kind of week then, or like in terms of training, riding, or is it just a big mishmash of like BMX?
It's a mishmash, literally mishmash. Just I've got a training plan for my trainer.
Yeah. Do you work with Chris Kilmurray?
Yeah, Chris Kilmurray. Yeah.
Cool. So is that something that you've only recently done, or is it?
No, I've been doing that for 2 years already. Okay. So yeah.
Does it make quite a big difference just having that sort of like structure, and I guess accountability is a big one as well, isn't it?
It's someone who just knows what they're doing to tell you what they're doing. Yeah.
How does that sort of structure work? It's just very much like keeping in touch on the phone and
pretty much. You just send me a plan every month. Yeah.
Is that everything from riding to gym to? Would you even you'd be quite careful with like nutrition and stuff? I say that even though we got McDonald's the other day.
No, there's a couple of pointers on nutrition and stuff, but it's mainly just like he knows we need to eat good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know that. We can have the old Mackies, but you know what I mean? Yeah, it's more just the training. And there's so many sessions in there, it's like athlete's choice where I can go to the skate park, I can go to the gym if I want.
Yeah, so
I'm going to go to the skate park at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, there's only going to be one winner there.
Exactly, yeah.
That's cool. One thing we were chatting to the other boys was about the sort of general sort of state of downhill and like racing and stuff like that. And one of the sort of key things that keeps coming up is like that sort of barriers to entry. I guess you've been, I don't want to say lucky because you've obviously made your own luck and you got on a team, but do you think there's a bit of an issue with how hard it is for young riders, whether they're male or females, to kind of break into the sport? And do you think there's stuff that could be done
for sure
to make it easier?
Yeah. I definitely think it's hard to get. I was super lucky. I was already on a World Cup team.
Yeah. So I guess you're in a similar position to say Matt Walker, where you were lucky. Well, again, don't use the term luck because you've obviously had the speed and stuff.
No, it is lucky. Yeah,
but you've been picked up and you're like straight into a factory team, and I guess you've benefited from the fact that there's a junior thing, which I definitely think is like a step in the right direction. But again, I know nothing about it other than what I watch, but it does seem that if you don't quite I guess it happens in so many aspects of life. If you don't get into it, it's very hard. It's very easy to get left behind.
For sure.
And you so easily just...
For sure. You need to be into the industry. Yeah. You need to be for sure. It's like, well, who you know a lot of the time. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You need to be able to... It's expensive sport at the end of the day. You're not going to be able to fund it on your own. You're going to need some backing and you need someone who's going to help you. Yeah. That's not always the case, isn't it?
It's so hard with them. Unless you have a supportive family.
Exactly, yeah.
And then even then, that supportive family needs to have at least some sort of financial backing.
For sure.
Just to get your foot in the door. And get those like
literally
points.
just to get your foot in the door, yeah.
Did you, so you said about your dad, was your dad someone who's like really integral to your sort of early part of your riding career and stuff in terms of getting you into riding and stuff and taking you places?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Well, he used to race as well.
Ah, really?
So he used to race he used to be on like the MBUK team and stuff.
Ah, cool.
So he already knew like people in the industry, which was good.
Yeah, okay.
So that was a massive foot in the door. So just like getting like a, Torrico shop in Morzine. First got sponsored by them. Never been to Morzine, but used to send me. I think they had a shop in the UK as well.
That's cool.
But they just like got me stuff for trade.
Yeah.
Just so we could go do the nationals and stuff. And then next year I got picked up by the Athens. So.
Ah, cool. Is that so? Did you, when you signed the Athens, did you move over to Wales then, or have you?
No, I was still in Huddersfield.
Ah, okay, cool.
I didn't move over until I met Tani. So.
Ah, cool. So how did the whole were you like pals with Tani and Chaos then, just from racing, or? Yeah,
pretty much just from racing. Well, I had been coming down here for a couple of months actually, just because of the Athens are down here.
Yeah, okay.
And I have a mate who lives in the local village. I used to come down and see him quite a lot. Then I basically just ended up staying here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened with Danny when he moved in. He moved into my flat like 10 years ago, and he was going to stay for like 3 weeks, and
ended up staying for years.
Still there.
Pretty much.
It's pretty funny how it all works out. But it seems like you guys have got pretty good setup in terms of like.
It's easy. We can train together, ride together. Like if I was to do it on my own, it'd suck.
Yeah, I just think anything like by yourself.
So that was the thing in Huddersfield. There's no one to do it with.
Yeah.
It was always just like gym on your own, ride on your own. So it's boring. Cool. So.
That still must have been like, you must have still left like quite young then.
Yeah,
in terms
for
of like
sure.
16 or 17 or something.
17,
right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Did your dad and stuff still come to the races, or?
No, my mum and stuff does, but not too much. It's just hard to get to, innit? They're all dotted around. Come to Fort William.
Yeah.
Every now and again, but yeah.
I also think that must be like an extra.
Yeah, it's the one to come to, innit?
Yeah. Nah, as I said before, I really, really hope it
goes on
next year.
For sure.
We've already mentioned the Rampage stuff, but is something like the King of Crankworx something that you would, because from outside looking in, I would look at a rider like yourself. You can ride downhill, you can do treks, you're obviously fast. King of Crankworx must be
that's
something that you would definitely be suited as a rider. It's probably more a case of whether it's something you want to pursue, but is that something you'd like to do?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a hard one to do, obviously, with doing all the World Cups.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have to race at Crankworx, the downhill, all like the slaloms, the pump track, and it's a big week. Mm-hmm. And normally it's like in between racing. Yeah. So I've tried to do it before, like, first I went to Crankworx as well, try and do as much as I can. Yeah. I was like, well, this is a heavy week. Yeah. So I definitely like to give it a proper shot, but maybe like later on when I've stopped racing as much.
Mm-hmm. Can you actually, they generally don't, like, date-wise, they don't clash, or do they?
No.
You couldn't do like full World Cup?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. It'd be a challenge though. Yeah.
Just be destroyed by the end of the season.
Yeah. Because I normally do like whip-off clashes and immersive stuff. You normally like, oh God, this time, but we're meant to be. I'm always doing like something when I should be doing the practice for something else.
Yeah, so it's so hard to basically like get up to speed on like.
It's like
speed. Did you do pump track as well?
I try to, but not really now.
Because I say one of the only riders who really tries to go for it is Lemoyne.
Lemoyne, yeah.
And like I think Pink Bike did a video, like the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Showing like what it actually looks like, and it is insane. Like you say, like if you want to do pump track, you then miss out on like slopestyle practice, which is his like main event.
His main event,
and it's like then obviously if you don't get practice, it's going to be hard to like
do well in that event.
But that'd be cool.
I don't know how he does it, to be fair. Yeah.
Because I guess like he does. I suppose he just doesn't race the downhill, and he gets enough points in the other things.
The slopestyle's got a lot of points.
Yeah. Okay.
And so obviously pump track and stuff does. So
I guess the crucial one would be whether you could qualify for slopestyle, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a big one though. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
I know.
To get anywhere close to them boys' standard is massive.
Yeah. I guess when they're just focusing on that, like you're focusing on racing. But
I feel like I'd need almost a year or two just doing that, literally sack down and off to get anywhere near where they are.
Do you think, and obviously we talked about Rampage, do you think you would ever really, because like you say, like with slopes, you could probably, not to take anything from Rampage because it's mental and it's hard, but I can only imagine you'd probably be able to like turn your hand to Rampage maybe a little bit easier than say slopestyle, do you think?
Yeah.
Just because of the skill sets and
just
stuff?
because it's more relatable to downhill bikes, I think. Yeah.
It's the same bike, isn't it? But
yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't know how I'd do if I went there.
Yeah.
But I've actually been to Utah. I went with Tani when they did the formation thing.
Okay, cool.
But we just I rode all the King Kong trail and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just a total different type of riding.
Yeah.
You gotta just be
Well,
ready to send.
Some of those boys will live out there now as well. So
yeah.
But when you did ride that, was it something you're like, yeah, I'm into this? Or,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted a bit of it. Yeah, it's good.
That'd be cool. Like cool to see. Like I suppose like I can imagine you doing similar runs and lines to like say someone like Andreo, where you just go absolutely
nuts.
Like blast down.
Honestly,
but then
goes
still
full tilt. It's insane.
Have you ridden with Andreo before? Actually,
yeah. I've ridden
class.
a couple of times. He's such a nut.
I can imagine you two getting together.
He's funny. He's a good guy. Yeah.
Nah, it'd be class. But I suppose to go back to slopestyle, do you think it would just be a case of like you would never be able to do that whilst you're racing? Really, it'd be a case of like I'm going to take a year off downhill and focus on something like slopestyle?
It would be I'm not saying it'd be impossible, but it would be.
It's all about being a bit more methodical, isn't it? Like what tricks do I need to learn?
Yeah.
It's just the fact. One thing that blows my mind with those guys is they do the most insane run. And then they do like another 12, or not insane run, insane trick, and then they literally do like 12 more of those things.
It's
and
insane.
Like to win, you literally, the levels got so high, you literally can't, you can't even slip a pedal basically.
Yeah, it's come down to people who like pedal are getting knocked down.
Yeah.
It's come down to stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Literally, if you pedal in between jumps, you're going to get knocked down because everything else is so good.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to find stuff to
they have
critique on, you know?
Nah, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah.
One thing I think is like, it's quite cool that they've good prize money and stuff in this sort of slopestyle, Crankworx stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, they get insane prize money.
Yeah, it's one thing that I thought was kind of weird in that like World Cup's like so
low prize money,
big, but like and that's one thing I don't know about it, but it'd be good to ask you about it. But they don't even. It's not even almost like not even a thing in World Cup really. I'm sure it is like a token amount. But obviously, you watch Crankworx, you win slopestyle.
You get the check, you hold the check out.
It's maybe like they're maybe trying to keep it a bit classy or whatever, and they just don't embrace that. But it's kind of funny, that they haven't gone down that route.
It's I don't really understand it.
Yeah,
they got plenty of money, so
what is the prize money for like if you were to say win?
Obviously, I've not got a clue to win any prize money, but I'm pretty sure it's like 3.5.
€3,500 for a win.
Yeah, for a win.
Which is pretty insane.
It's pretty good. But at the same time, if it's risking your life going down flat out.
It's just when you compare it to say like pump track at Crankworx or something, it's probably like 5 or 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to take anything away from those guys.
No,
but in terms of like following and viewers and stuff, it's
like downhill's meant to be like the F1 of mountain biking.
Yeah.
If you'd say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd think like, imagine you get to the bottom, 20k check, you'd go send it, wouldn't you? You'd just go send it just to be.
Yeah, it seems like I guess it's probably just a case of they don't need to, so they don't feel they have to, and I suppose they know that like brands are maybe going to step up with bonuses and stuff. But it's definitely something that doesn't seem. Not to say it's wrong because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
but it's just.
I say it's a bit cheeky.
Yeah. It just seems crazy that like such a massive event with so many followers.
Huge event, yeah.
Would only have like a €3,500.
Yeah.
When
well, it just looked pathetic written on a check. Well, that's why they don't do it because it looks
just
pathetic.
putting like the little decimal point and like making it really small so it looks like it's 35 grand or something. But
ridiculous.
Is that something you think that do you think like racers should almost like get together and try and like change that? Or
the thing is, it's never going to happen because we all just love riding our bikes.
And they kind of know that
we feel lucky that we're there.
Yeah,
can't complain about prize money when we're just stoked to be there.
I think it's almost it's not so much for the people who win, but I think like in other sports, like not golf's like an insane one, but you literally get paid from like first place to like 60th or something.
Yeah,
even if it was like €700 or something for like 60th place, it would make a big difference. I think, especially to like privateers and stuff like that. It must be so hard to kind of break in like that, and if you're like literally getting no prize money.
Yeah.
And they're obviously 3.5 grand to be all right, but
even if you do like obviously 20, like a 20th is insane. for like a privateer. You know what I mean? Anyway,
Yeah,
20th is a good result, but you get...
Would you get anything for
Nothing.
20? No.
Pretty sure you get nothing, yeah.
You must like stop after 5th or something.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think it stops after 5th. I think it goes to maybe 10th, but still.
Yeah.
I don't know if it does. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know yet. I've not been...
Hopefully next year you'll find out.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, man.
So to talk about like the fact that you like do tricks and stuff and ride your BMX, is that something so that your sponsors such as Trek are like pretty chilled about?
Yeah, that's
I know,
sick,
like
yeah.
they're quite supportive in it.
Yeah, really supportive.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I get like fucking custom hardtails, slow bikes. They're super supportive.
That's cool.
If anything, they know how much I enjoy doing it. So
yeah, I think you're kind of lucky. Well, again, I don't want to use the term lucky, but you're on a team for racing, but you're lucky that Trek also are one of the only main bike brands. I guess Canyon's probably like one of the only other ones, maybe Specialized, that they have like their whole slope team.
Exactly.
So you don't even need to like buy like a random slopestyle bike.
Exactly.
You can get all that. So
they do everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're fully supportive of you.
Fully
they're never
supportive.
like, that's cool because I think sometimes like
for sure,
I can imagine certain brands might be like if you're employed for racing,
that's all you're doing. Yeah.
They're not going to want you to be like
chucking myself about doing stupid stuff.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So in terms of like BMX and stuff, is that something you just always love to go back to, like when you get back from the season? Would you do that mid-season as well, or all the time?
Pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
Try to.
That's cool. Do you take your BMX to World Cups?
No, I don't actually. Take my skateboard sometimes.
Cool.
No, just because of room, really. I'd like to fit it in the van, but I'd probably just end up hurting myself. So still.
Yeah, I guess it's just getting that balance.
It's nice to come home and have a change, go ride BMX for a couple of weeks, like not ride mountain bikes, just do that. It's good.
That's cool. So you literally never take a day off. It definitely seems that you guys ride a lot.
Yeah, we
like
try
just from
to.
like being down here, it seems that you guys are kind of always on the
doing something.
Because like we were at Boneyard the other night.
Yeah.
Was that always like your? Well, I guess you've not always lived down here, but has that always been your kind of go-to?
Since coming down here, literally, we go like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
It's just a need, need to go to the skate park.
So were you saying has BMX always been a little bit of an extra, or was there ever a oh no, you did. You mentioned you wanted to do.
Yeah, I always used
BMX
to.
race.
Yeah, at some point when I was a kid, that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But then that fizzled out. Yeah. No, I've just always ridden skate park. Coming from Huddersfield, there's like 5 outdoor parks around the whole city, so I can just ride around to them. And basically, that's what I did when I was young.
Cool.
That was my training, pedaling around skate parks. Yeah. Riding skate park all day.
That's cool. Yeah, it definitely seemed like you've got like the skills on quite a few things.
Yeah, I think that comes from skate park. Yeah. Honestly.
Just like
helps everything. Yeah.
That's class. You've done like a few filming projects.
Yeah,
here and there.
Yeah.
Now that you're on Red Bull, do you think filming's going to be something that you'll kind of
hopefully
step up like and do more of?
Yeah, hopefully start a film project. Yeah,
that's cool. I think it'd be quite cool to like see you like on all sorts of different bikes. Is the sort of pressures of filming like something that you like enjoy compared to racing? Because I guess it's not quite as
definitely
depends on what you're doing. So it can still be pretty stressful.
Yeah,
if you're doing like scary shit. But
yeah, definitely can be stressful. But yeah, it's definitely much more. When it's your thing and you're going to plan it out and stuff, you've got more interest in it. Yeah, you know, you want to make it as best as it can be.
That's cool. Have you got something lined up with Red Bull now, or is it all just happened quite quickly?
It's all happened pretty quickly. So I've just actually speaking to Matt today.
Yeah,
about when we should start.
The athlete manager at Red Bull. That's cool.
We should start planning something.
Yeah, that'd be class. Do you think that'll happen next year, maybe?
Yeah, hopefully.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Got some ideas I want to do, like trick-wise.
Sweet. Oh, so you're thinking more like trick-based stuff?
Well, I'm thinking so, yeah. See what he says. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool to see you guys, ride with some of the Red Bull athletes.
Yeah,
like, cool. I don't know, like Emil or...
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Someone like Seminix springs to mind.
Yeah.
Because those guys are just...
those are insane, yeah.
That's cool. Had a little bit of a private session at Boneyard the other night, and Kade took my trials bike off me and
I took it off and
made me depressed.
How'd it go?
What did you do in it? Tail whip? Bar spin?
No, I didn't land a tail whip. I landed a bar spin there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to have a go. I need to have a sesh.
You need to teach us how to do them.
I'm interested. You need to teach me some stuff as well.
I don't know about that.
Need some rail rides.
See, what's that?
Need some rail rides.
Rail rides.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you are. Do you think, I don't want to like sound like I'm blowing smoke up your ass too much, but it's pretty obvious that like you're one of those people who can like get on a bike, like I saw you on my trials bike the other night, and you can pretty much like do certain things like straight off the bat. Do you think like, where do you sit in the sort of talent stroke, like practice kind of debate? Like, do you think it's just because you've had so much bike time that you just kind of, and it's, from me looking at it, it looks like it's a mindset thing almost. Where you're just like, you just kind of know you can do it, so you just do it rather than like worry. But
I think it's a lucky thing as well. Obviously, my dad being into bikes.
Yeah,
I've literally had BMX mountain bike. Like, I've had a trials bike before when I was younger, just to mess around on.
Oh, did you have like a
little Onza T-Bird or something like that?
That makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah,
it wasn't just like straight off the bat.
Like when I was
doing gap jumps and stuff, which would like take some people like days to learn.
I've done a little bit of trials and stuff. And it all, like when I was doing motorbike trials, that's when I got my push bike trials. Just like I've always like tried different bikes, just because I sometimes get bored rather than the same one. So I mean, got to change it up. Yeah, it's nice to learn new stuff. I definitely think it's a practice thing, but also, I don't want to say I'm talented, but like I've ridden bikes.
Yeah, you've obviously
all my life. That's all I know at the end of the day. Since I was 2 years old, once I could ride a bike, I was riding a bike. Yeah, I've not stopped since. So
I think it's just a bit of both, really, isn't it? Because you're obviously like, there's talent. You must have a good chunk of talent, and then because you've got that talent, you try something and you're good at it, so you're more likely to enjoy it.
Exactly.
And then the more you're likely to enjoy it, and then it just kind of like
all keeps going, isn't it?
It's like a snowball effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like, if you say someone who maybe doesn't quite make it into, it's kind of the same in a roundabout way of like not making it into like a World Cup. Like once it goes,
once
and you're on the right side,
yeah,
and it gets going. That's why injuries, I think, can be so.
That's
annoying.
when they stop the ball rolling for sure.
Do you find do you like pay much attention to the whole sort of psychology side of things? In terms of whether it's actually a race or even just like coming back from injuries, those are like two things that kind of come to mind.
Not much until recently.
Yeah.
Tony's got a psychologist.
Oh, really? That's cool.
She keeps telling me I need to do it.
Yeah.
She says it's
you're not up for it at the moment, or I guess I think it's like a guy. It's like it's almost like a weird thing.
Like, I don't want to be told what to do. No.
Yeah. I think it's like realizing that you're not saying that there's anything wrong with you as such, and even if there is, it's fine. And it's kind of rocking it. And
it's kind of finding your weakness and your strengths, really, isn't it? Yeah.
I suppose you train anything else, so why not train
your brain? For sure. No, I'm definitely swaying towards getting a psychologist. Yeah, like there's so many people doing it now.
Yeah, yeah. It was like Matt Walker said. It was interesting that he was basically. I asked him the same question, and he said he didn't have one, and then last year he started seeing a psychologist, and then this year he wins overall World Cup. Yeah. And it's like, obviously it could be a coincidence, but
I think you doubt yourself a lot. For sure. You definitely, like a rider doubts herself. I think just having the strength in your brain to tell yourself that you're good enough is such a big thing. But then you feel like you're being a cocky cunt, so then you're like, but then you, in reality, you just need to believe in yourself.
I think with the whole, like, I think as like people in action sports, we're almost kind of confused in that you have that, it's not like football or whatever, where it's like, or boxing, where you're like, my opponent's like a dick and I'm going to beat him, whatever. You have this kind of like mindset where you're like stoked for everyone else.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is obviously great, but then it gets a little bit difficult when it comes to like racing, I suppose, because you kind of like, at the end of the day, it's like a big sport and there's money involved and you want to be professional. It's like, but it's kind of like not the done thing.
Yeah.
But I think in the last few years, it definitely sounds like it's become more of a thing. You hear saying Tanny's doing it. I think Luke Bruni's been quite openly talking about having one, and
for sure,
you can only see how good like their results have been.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes sense, but I definitely think sometimes it's just someone telling you the obvious shit that you wouldn't actually think of.
Yeah, that your mind would put a block on. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find like at races though, there's definitely like some races you're just feeling on it, and then some you're not?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it can change like that. Yeah, you can be feeling on it, and then something shit will happen to you. You get a flat tire, and you get pissed off, and then like tomorrow you'll be fine. Yeah, it's just like sometimes you get like little spikes of stress and stuff.
I suppose a psychologist would be kind of like preempt certain things and like
be
ready. Like if this does happen at a race, this is the sort of process you're gonna like.
This is what you're gonna do.
Kind of like get through it, kind of thing. Do you that's like one thing I say I would find is like, do you find it quite hard to deal with the fact that you're professional athletes, you're essentially your full-time job, you work from January all the way through to December, whether that's racing or riding.
Yeah.
Do you find it quite difficult? And I think Reese mentioned it, where the pressure's all focused on these handfuls of races.
Yeah.
And like, I think some people will be like, oh, you guys have got it so easy. You only need to go to 7 races a year. The races are only like 5 minutes long or whatever. 35 minutes. You're like, well, actually,
it doesn't give you that much time to prove yourself. Yeah, for sure.
Sounds like it's easier, but it actually makes it a whole lot harder. And do you find that quite, well, it must, like, do you find it quite stressful because of that?
Yeah.
When it all like literally comes down to these things, or?
I try not to think about it, but at the end of it, it is stressful.
Yeah.
Like, you get 7 times a year to show your worth. You know what I mean? Bad luck can come in there. You feel like tyres, fucking stupid crashes, you know what I mean? Yeah,
especially this year, it seems like, I guess one of the sort of standout ones would be like Loris's getting a flat in his front tyre in the third race, and it's like,
whole
such a short season.
Yeah, doesn't make any,
There's just no way of making it back up.
No way of making it back up.
Do you think, would you prefer there to be a longer season? Or do you think it's quite a good balance? Because it's...
For what I do, I think it's quite good, because obviously I like to do different stuff, I think it's quite good. If it did get much longer, I think I'd struggle to do different things, like the Crankworx, and go off and do all these different events.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can see where I can see why it'd be good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I think like when you compare it to like, I'm always comparing downhill to Formula 1, which is a good comparison, I suppose, because downhill is kind of just talked about as being like the Formula 1 of mountain biking. But like those guys have like 20 races.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it just means like if you crash, you're not completely screwed for like going for the overall or whatever.
Exactly.
So I think it kind of depends on within downhill as well. There's like there's so many there's such a difference between like out and out racers and like say people like yourself, where you're basically like, you've got quite a wide offering, not just in terms of like what bikes you ride, but also in terms of like say social media, for example. So imagine like someone like Trek will look at you and they're like obviously employing you as a racer, but they must see like massive value in the fact that you can get media, like, well, you're in like the track, you're in like the, what's their new bike called?
Slash.
The Slash, like you're like part of their launch, but then you've also got this like pretty like well engaged social media audience. Probably, I'd say you must be one of the sort of higher Instagram followings of like most people in the downhill circuit. Do you think that's like is that something you like consciously done in terms of like building your social media following up, or has it just happened quite naturally?
Kind of just happened,
just because you have fun doing it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It was insane. Like my junior years, watching my followers go up, just like they'd be watching them go. Like me and Robbie would be, because he used to do all my social media like videos and stuff. We'd put it up and like see all the followers you gain from it. And it's just ridiculous. Like 2,000 followers in a day, just from being at a World Cup. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I really found it come from the World Cup.
Yeah, like when I was it was sure, like literally going up like 1,000 followers a day.
Yeah.
Just watching it grow, like, whoa.
Yeah. It's an interesting one though, because it's like, I guess but you basically need the mixture. Like racing obviously brings you followers, but then you kind of need to do something on top of racing to almost like keep
entertaining,
keep your followers. Yeah. Like racing might help you get to your page, but you kind of like once they're on the line, you need to
keep them
show them some good shit. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because you and like, just from like the outside looking in, that you and Chaos definitely seem to be, whether it's conscious or not, you're just like keeping that.
Try and keep as much stuff.
Feed the beast.
Yeah, for sure.
Would you do like would you say you post like a video a day?
Nah, definitely not. Sometimes, depends really.
Just depends, I suppose.
Depends, like if I've got loads of clips from a session, then I'll probably post like every day, but sometimes I don't post for a week. You know, if I've not been riding, too much recently, just skate park stuff. That's the thing as well, when I go ride skate park now, especially at this time of year, I never really film stuff because I'm just so happy to be riding skate park. And then I get to like, I'm like, right, I should probably film some stuff. But when you're just riding and you're just having fun, you're just like, I just want to ride. Yeah.
No, it's definitely something that I find where you just like, you go through phases of just having like loads of clips. And it's so hard not to just like put them all out.
Yeah.
So you're just like, I'll post the one next to you, like, and then you just like blast them all out, and then you have like a slow week, or maybe at an event or something. You're like, shit, I probably
I've
should
not
have
posted for 6 days. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. People like one, because I think it's like weird with social media, because I think it's cool that we have all like people following what you're doing. They're into this. That's a really cool thing to have. But in some ways, as soon as you start doing something regularly, there's definitely like an expectation that like
for
people
sure.
will like.
People are like, where have you gone?
Yeah. But they're almost like they almost feel like they're owed these clips, or whatever. Yeah,
for sure.
But that's funny. Is YouTube something you think you'd ever go into, or like making more?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're thinking about it.
Yeah, are you in chaos?
I wouldn't do it on my own. I don't think I could. Yeah. I can't speak for long enough to a camera on my own, for sure. Now, I think if we were to do any like YouTube style stuff, try and, I don't know, not keep away from the vlog, but like
maybe do something more like what, like say the 50 to 1 guys have done or something.
Just put up an edit, like more just like literally we're here at a bike park, let's go ride, and then just a load of clips. That's not cool. Like speaking bullshit into the camera.
YouTube channel,
or
you got like is it G-Up or Dyers?
G-Up or Dyer TV, G-Up TV, sorry, G-Up TV.
That could be quite a cool vehicle to do that one.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. I can definitely imagine like people would be pretty stoked especially seeing how much you guys ride.
Yeah,
I've like kind of dipped my toes in like the whole YouTube thing, but being lucky to have Rory sort of been riding with and stuff, and Danny, it's like it's so much easier to make like if I'm going to go ride like street or whatever, to make a video with those guys, is like so much easier than the idea of like going out by myself and like just speaking to the camera by myself. It's just like hard to kind of capture that vibe, but
it's hard to be spontaneous as well when you're on your own.
Yeah, for sure. Just feel like such a dick, like talking to your camera, like if in like a car park or something, people are just like looking at what you're doing. But definitely, I can imagine
people
you guys,
love it though.
Yeah, you guys would kill it, I reckon.
Yeah, it's just literally being confident to do that, isn't it? Yeah, speaking from the camera, something I'm not too confident with yet, but you get used to it, I guess.
I think I saw like, has Tanny done a little bit of stuff?
Yeah, Tanny's done a little bit of stuff. Yeah,
I think with lockdown, it's kind of like people. Suddenly had a bit of time in their hands.
It's hard to keep at it there. Yeah. You put one out and then like, what should I do next? Yeah,
it's funny, like even with this podcast, it's like I've been trying we have been doing them like every 2 weeks, and even every 2 weeks it's like, it's crazy how like that 2 weeks comes like flying around again.
It's a lot of planning.
I've not done a video like, but that'd be pretty cool if you guys start doing stuff. I guess as long as I think there's always like a bit of a debate between like whether you should do like edits or like rough edits or vlogs or whatever, but I think if you can do both,
like a mix kind of style, would be cool.
That'd be cool, because you've been working with something with Robbie this year, like a longer video. Is that something that's going to be on the go soon, or you still kind of try to finish it?
Still trying to finish it, just weather, it's the weather, pushed over a bit with World Cups and stuff, just didn't go as planned. Hopefully, we wanted to be finished just like before the World Cup started, but ran over, so
that's cool.
We're just waiting for the weather now. But hopefully that should be
that's going to be like a
January, February time, I think.
And that'll be like a sort of longer piece.
Maybe a 30-minute kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be class to see.
Covering all bikes, so
I think it makes sense to see like send it in all sorts of bikes. Like,
it should be good.
One piece, like, look forward to seeing it. One thing I ask pretty much everyone, because I love them so much as well.
E-bikes.
And I know you do as well, so I'm going to ask you. What's your thoughts on e-bikes?
Best things in the world, honestly.
It's so funny that everyone you speak to, like all the professional riders that have been given e-bikes,
amazing.
Everyone thinks that the brands have like forced them on their respective riders, but the actual reality is the opposite. And like none of the brands have any stock of e-bikes, and all the riders are like
literally begging. And then I got one actually through lockdown, like just as lockdown started, and it was insane because I've been asking for so long. I'll e-bike it, and I got one. I was just like, boom, life
especially
changed.
When I'm not sure if like Tanya or Chaos did they have e-bikes before or after?
Before, yeah.
Okay, so that must have been like brutal, because like...
Yeah, I was actually riding one of theirs quite a lot.
Did you test it?
Yeah, smashing out on theirs,
That's cool. You got the new track one.
Yeah,
it looks
so
like
good.
An absolute beast.
Yeah, it's such a good
bike. Is
bike.
that a 29er?
Yeah, 29 front and back.
Yeah, I definitely think that track's like one of the nicer...
Yeah, it's clean. The battery like integrates so good,
It's a Bosch motor.
Yeah, Bosch one,
That's class. Yeah, it's so hard to... I think the downside to e-bikes is it's so hard to go back.
Yeah. But so hard to go. That is the one problem with them. Yeah.
Do you see it as like a pretty? Obviously, they're fun as hell. Do you see it as like a pretty crucial training tool for like next year in terms of just being able to get loads of riding time descent time?
I honestly think for a downhill rider, having an e-bike is the best thing. You literally just do more downhill.
Yeah.
And you still pedal up the climbs. You just get up quicker, you know?
I think with the climbs as well, like you're literally like developing bike skills on the climbs because you're going so fast. Yeah. It's like that trail we have up there.
Yeah.
There's literally like, cause so many people have been riding, there's berms on the uphills now, which is mental. Like there's literally a berm where it's not coming from nobody's riding down it. It's all like up and you can like go up and boost like so far.
Yeah. So sick.
So fast. It's pretty insane. But yeah, it's have you been riding your trail bike since the e-bike much, or is it?
Literally, I think I've ridden it 2 times.
Yeah.
I rode it up here actually, just up this hill. Then I did 3 runs and went home.
Yeah.
I'd know on my e-bike I'd maybe do 10.
Yeah.
It just makes so much more sense, and they ride so good. Ride more like a downhill bike.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually. Do you feel like the weight's almost like makes it something more similar to the downhill bike than say the trail bike? Because the trail bikes are so they're so
light
flicky
now.
and stuff, which is obviously great and they feel good. But in terms of like actually preparing for racing, maybe an e-bike's.
You get on our downhill bikes are pretty light, but like it's the same kind of thing. They're heavy. They're stuck to the floor. You know, they're just. I definitely think it's more transferable. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, it's definitely for me. It's just been like an absolute game changer. I think maybe probably you might be able to relate to it as well because you like come from BMX, or even say dirt jumping. I'm so used to like going out my trials bike, and when I'm out my trials bike, I'm like literally the whole 2 hours I'm out riding my trials bike. I'm doing like the fun shit that that's what I'm there for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything's fun, even though you're still obviously working out. So whenever I jump on a mountain bike, I almost find it quite difficult to deal with, in that like my 3 hour session is actually only like 20 minutes of the fun stuff.
Yeah.
And I think for that reason, I've really loved the e-bike, because even though it's obviously not, you're still like, basically the climbing's fun and the descent's time, and you do like probably, do you reckon it's about 3 times as much descent? If you were to say, if you were to say go out for a 2 hour session on your e-bike, you're probably going to do at least 3 or 4 times as much descent as you'd be on the, and I just think as for like young kids coming up, again, it's a difficult one because it makes it like even more elitist, because e-bikes, there's no getting away from it. They're going to be way more expensive.
Yeah.
But you can only imagine like having an e-bike when you were like 15.
Would have been insane.
As like a training thing. It would just be like, especially
how much of a better ride you'd be. Yeah. How much more bike time you'd get.
Especially if you don't live in a place that's got uplift.
Exactly.
It's got like a,
It's definitely a good tool. Yeah.
That's pretty nuts. Do you think not living in a place like with uplift is like holds the Brits back? Because it's like,
no, I don't think so.
It's crazy when you think about it. It's mental how good the British riders are on the World Cup scene.
I think it's more of an effort for us. Obviously, we've got good riding because there's a good scene here, but it's not upliftable everywhere.
Yeah.
So you got to go out and do it.
Yeah.
Like if the weather's shit, or you know what I mean, you don't have a chairlift or whatever they've got in the Alps.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You've literally got to go and make it happen. So
that's why I see e-bikes are probably just going to get bigger.
That's why it's going to be.
I suppose you guys have revs, don't you, nearby?
Yeah,
which must be a massive.
It's amazing. Yeah,
uplift as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I need to go and ride there with you boys.
Yeah, for sure.
Chat about it for going tomorrow, but
yeah, that would be sick.
Sweet.
Get on it. Perfect.
Well, we have had Kade here for over an hour now, so I think we're going to call it that. He's hopefully going to get a little bit of a ride in the BMX in the barn.
Yeah,
that's why it's like Greg in the first ever episode. I told him to come for a ride and then pinned him down for the podcast. But thanks again for coming on. Really appreciate it. Where should what's your Insta for people hitting you up? Is it Kade?
Kade_2000.
2000, which I now know is the year you're born.
Yeah, the year I was born. Yeah.
Nice one. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Dude. Thank you.